Welcome to At the Disney Movies with the Hearts.
I'm Kelly.
I'm David.
And this week, it's a totally realistically sized gorilla terrorizing LA.
Mighty Joe Young.
From 1998.
In the classic tradition of Disney entertainment comes this year's holiday movie event. They were orphaned from childhood.
Promise me, protect her. I promise.
Best friends for life. Once you meet him, you'll never forget.
Joe!
Disney's Mighty Joe Young.
Can you get him to put me down?
Joe, drop him.
Yeah, it's very unrealistically sized. This is basically Jurassic Park with an ape.
Except for you didn't get sad when the T-Rex almost died, or...
There's no sad parts in this movie, really.
Well, that's because you have no feelings. No, but no. Just listen. Shh. No. I just don't think I can handle animal movies very well at all.
You know, and usually I can't either, but this one...
Oh, it's not good. This is not a good movie.
It's so fake that I can't care.
I cared a little bit.
I can't.
It's pretty fake.
As far as I'm concerned, this movie basically revolves around how hot Charlize Theron is at 23 years old.
Oh my god.
It's true though.
I mean, she is very beautiful.
She's everybody's type, even your type.
Yeah, she's beautiful. She's a beautiful lady.
Yeah. I mean, and that's basically what this movie's about. Is, oh my god, have you seen Charlize Theron at 23?
Did you look up how old she was?
I had to, because I had to make sure it wasn't, creepy.
Oh my god. I mean, it is, but I mean...
Although, I will say, and this is very unusual, she's better looking from 30 to 40 than she is from 20 to 30.
Oh yeah, she looks super weird in this movie. Yeah. I mean, she's very beautiful in parts of this movie, but she's very beautiful. She's one of the most beautiful actresses ever. She's very...
Probably
She is one of the few that I'm pretty sure has not had plastic surgery.
Oh, no. You can tell. No.
And I agree. She does look better as she gets older. It's weird.
Yeah, this movie basically revolves around how hot she is.
It's just...
We'll get into that later.
There's parts of this movie that are just...
ludicrous?
Well, aside from ludicrous, just upsetting in a number of ways, and just... No, I realize because it's unrealistic.
I don't want to give it away, but the upsetting things just, they don't have no thump behind them. And I didn't even dislike this movie.
I mean, well, clearly you just like watching Charlize Theron run around. No, It's
not just that.
How much of a piece of do you have to be a legit poacher going around killing animals just to sell them for parts? Like, how much of a piece of are you?
So, I mean, I've been thinking about this since I was about 3 or 4 years old, just based on my lifetime history, and I would say you have to be the lowest piece of
And I think that's why I just can't... I'll have to save something for the end of the movie, but...
I'll go ahead and say it out front. I am super into killing animals. I will happily kill for my own food, but killing for and giggles and gorillas? No.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about it when we get to the end of the movie. This movie just basically went in one big circle, and I'm like, nothing's gonna change, but whatever.
No.
I just can't handle animal movies, no matter what it is. It just makes me, any kind of animal abuse or animal death, it's too upsetting.
Kelly gets a little weepy.
Yeah. Did you know I was weepy? Could you tell?
Yeah. It was obvious, but I didn't let it affect me.
What do you mean it was obvious? I was trying really hard to not.
No, it was very obvious at the end you were weepy.
I was trying really hard to play it cool.
I don't know how you were trying hard. You're like...
Shut up. No,
So why don't you read the synopsis to break this up?
Okay. Mighty Joe Young, 1998. Family, animals, and nature, action, adventure.
All right.
The legendary Joe, a playful, smart, 15-foot-tall gorilla, and his lifelong best friend Jill Young have grown up together in the remote mountains of Central Africa. When Joe's peaceful existence is shattered by poachers, Jill and zoologist Greg O'Hara... Oh, that's his name is Greg? Oh, okay.
So you're talking about one of... Okay, no, go ahead.
Sorry. Jill and zoologist Greg O'Hara rescue their innocent friend and move him to the safety of an animal conservatory in California. But Joe's safety is short-lived, no longer a myth. His notoriety makes him a target for an enemy from his past. A ruthless hunter who will do anything to capture the mighty Joe.
The longest description in the history of Disney Plus.
Wait, but it's my favorite part. Contains tobacco descriptions.
So, I mean...
What?
Well, wait, what was the part that I was going to comment on?
When I said, oh, that's his name, about Bill Paxton. I just kept calling him Bill Paxton.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the worst parts of this movie is that we have no idea what Bill Paxton's name is.
Okay,
for
right?
the whole movie.
Yes! Okay.
It's irritating. I called him the dude through the whole movie because I'm sure, and I do remember them calling him O'Hara at the beginning, but calling somebody by their last name, not cool.
I mean,
and then not ever using their name again, not cool. They really this up in this movie.
So I literally just kept calling him Mr. Pax in my head. I was like...
So Pax is the other thing I used besides dude in my notes. I was, Pax.
God, and I was so irritated because, as previous listens of this podcast will tell you, I do not like Bill Paxton. He's on my list of 3 people I can't stand. But
I think that Bill Paxton is an American treasure and a true hero of our country and acting.
But okay, I didn't absolutely hate him in this movie.
This is the quintessential Bill Paxton.
It was fine.
Performance.
It was, except for his hair was way too long.
That's kind of how he does.
I just don't like him.
And this is coming right off of Twister, which is amazing.
Oh God, no! It's awful. No. Bill Paxton, Bill Pullman, and Kevin Costner can all go away forever, and no one would care.
Yeah, this is the worst possible take that you have. Is that
it's fine? It's fine.
Bill Pullman is an Independence Day.
Nobody cares about Bill Pullman and Independence Day. Everyone cares.
That's one of the best movies of all time.
Even
with Will Smith. Even with Will Smith, which is the worst actor you can have in a movie.
David,
it's one of the best.
I know. I didn't say I didn't like that movie. I just ignore Bill Pullman because I think he's the worst part about that movie. I like the drunk, gross guy in that movie better than Bill Pullman's character.
That's me. I'm Randy Quaid.
Ugh, gross. No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
So yeah. Anyways, back to this podcast. not the debate over Bill Pullman podcast. Bill Pullman.
Not the debate over Pullman, Paxton, and Costner.
Ugh. You know who's like a close 4th runner-up is Greg Kinnear. He's right in there.
He is, and I would also like to throw Dax Shepard as the less talented of all of the 4, but also in the same category. But just way less talented.
He's different. That he's not a white dude like could be Jeffrey Dahmer kind of dude.
Is. He's just way less talented than those other 4 guys.
If you think about movies about serial killers, like literally any 3 or 4 of them could play a serial killer in a movie.
So could he, other than he's really not talented. Sorry. Or not.
But I think my favorite thing about this movie was that the director also directed Tremors, Ron Underwood, which is incredible because Tremors is one of my secret favorite movies.
So I will also throw the same thing, except for City Slickers, which is one of my favorite movies from a childhood.
I've never seen that movie, so I don't even know what it is. Is it a cop movie? What is it? Is it a cop movie?
No.
What is it?
No. It's where Billy Crystal, the city, goes out to a dude ranch and tries to be a cowboy.
Oh, so it's
hilarious.
So it's okay. You know what's interesting? Okay, we keep getting side, but it's fine. This movie was very 90s in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah.
There were certain 90s movie tropes that you don't see anymore. Like when you bring up the city slickers thing, the whole big city person goes to the country. That was
New York City.
And like
get a rope. And that was the whole old El Paso salsa commercial. At that time.
Oh.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that in this, but the other way of, the country people come to the city, but also the whole end sequence was very done a lot in the 90s, and that's never done anymore, but
yeah, it shouldn't.
The city disaster thing, which also was done in Independence Day, but whatever. Just saying. And he also directed Once Upon a Time, which is a TV show. And if you're a Disney person, you know about Once Upon a Time as a TV show.
Well, he directed tons of TV.
Yeah.
I mean, basically every show you've ever watched, you'd be like, oh yeah, that guy directed an episode or two.
Yeah. No, he's very prolific, and it's just, this was an interesting.
Yeah. And so then we had Charlize Theron at 23, and it's just like, damn.
Well, I mean, she's always like, damn. She's flawless in everything that she does.
Yeah, well, yeah, but...
Name a bad performance by Charlize Theron.
The first third of this movie, she's not wearing a bra, which is just insane.
Oh my god. I can't.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. Who at Disney was like, oh, that's okay. That's fine for everybody to see.
Probably a lot of them. This was 1998.
Oh, I guess.
Think about Inspector Gadget coming out, what?
So, you might be right.
Yeah.
This might be the best time to ever make a Disney movie, because you can kind of throw some good stuff in there.
Correct, sir.
Oh my god. And then, aside from
Bill Paxton, American Hero.
Hold on. Back to Charlize Theron for a second. Aside from her...
Oh, she can't act at this point, by the way.
I thought she wasn't that bad.
No, she can't act. She's terrible in this movie. I should throw that out there.
Really?
She's hot, but she's terrible in this movie.
Was this one of her first movies? I didn't even look.
It's the first or second real movie, and definitely the first real movie, and she can't act. She's just hot South African Charlize Theron.
Is she actually from South Africa?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But I didn't think she was that bad. I just think she's so charming and beautiful. But
no, she was terrible.
But she's a good actress now.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, even just a couple movies after this, she's great. But in this movie, she's terrible.
Yeah.
What's the problem? You're the problem. This is the second time I've saved you from being killed. Next time, I'm just gonna watch. You understand?
Okay, all right. You saved me, and I'm grateful.
So you have Bill Paxton, and at first, I literally made an audible groan. And when I saw him come on the screen, I was like, ugh.
And I was excited. It was a very...
I completely forgot he was in this movie. Because, I have seen this before.
I had no idea he was in this movie. I was very pleased when I saw him come on.
I saw this movie in theaters with my dad. In the movie theater as a 9-year-old with my dad.
Ooh. Yeah, that's not comfortable.
So, I mean, maybe my dad just wanted to go see Charlize Theron. I don't freaking know.
I don't think so.
And then, so I couldn't figure out where I recognized the main villain guy first.
I knew exactly where I recognized the main villain from.
Snatch.
I was like, what? Yeah. He's the Russian guy selling the guns. Unkillable.
Rade Zerbedzhiga.
But the problem that really messed with me is that in the beginning, it seemed like he was French.
Yeah, it did kind of a little bit.
And then all of a sudden he turned Russian or Lithuanian, as we find out, way into the movie. And
I don't know. But he was actually really good, though.
Oh, he's a great villain. Yeah, he's a great villain in Snatch. I mean, if it's heavy, if it doesn't work, you can throw it at them.
He's just got that, villain-esque... He's got that villain thing that the guy from That Darn Cat, that villain thing, he just has it.
He's very good at being a villain. I agree 100%.
And the cameo from a very, very young Regina King, who now is one of the most famous actresses ever.
Oh, see, I couldn't pin her, but she was great.
Yeah, no, you know who that is now, right, though?
No.
Oh, she's in a ton of movies now. She was in The Help. She was in Hidden Figures.
A whole bunch of stuff I haven't seen, but she was really good in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
I thought she was actually great in the little bit that she was in. No,
she's a very prolific actress now.
See, I was going to shout out David Paymer.
Which one was he?
Okay, so he was Dr. Harris.
Ugh.
The guy who was also in every single movie, TV show, and everything in the 90s. That guy was everywhere. He was in everything. Hate that guy.
That guy from that thing.
Yeah, he is that guy from that thing. That guy is in everything.
Well,
and he's kind of always the semi-terrible douche, but not totally terrible douche. He plays the same character all the time, and I don't fucking like him.
Yeah, nobody's supposed to like that guy.
Yeah.
That's kind of the point.
But he's the guy who marries a semi-hot chick and then gets cheated on when he's 50. And then the lady takes all of his money.
Is that in a fantasy or like?
No, that's real life. That's the kind of guy that happens to. Because nobody likes him.
Do you have any fun facts? I have one.
I really don't, other than Charlize Theron did not wear a bra for the first 30 minutes of this movie, which is
so fun.
For everybody is incredible. Otherwise, I could not find any fun facts about this movie.
So there was a bunch of facts, but a lot of them are really long and not very interesting. But Bill Paxton is 29 years older than Charlize Theron.
Oh, yeah. No, trust me.
Yeah, no, it's
trust me. This is like the creepiest. This is the creepiest, most awesome, most creepy, lecherous, dirty performance by any actor in history. Because Bill Paxton is so psyched to just be touching Charlize Theron.
If he's 29 years older than her and she's 23 in this, that's my dad hitting on a 23-year-old, which is gross. Ew.
Yeah. He is getting it. And throughout the movie, you can see he is definitely getting it.
Do you think he got it?
Oh, yeah. Ew. Yeah.
No, she's way better than Bill Paxton.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They got it. They got it together.
I can't. Okay, I guess that means we have to get into this now, huh?
Yeah, which, to be honest, I would rather we just didn't, but let's just do it.
Well, yeah, we need to. There's not that much that really happened in this movie, so...
Tell me about it. I took a lot of notes, and it wasn't many notes. So we open this dang movie up with baby gorillas, adult gorillas, and a couple of blonde broads. One old, one young.
Just want to say, the lady they picked to play her mom looks just like her.
Oh, yeah, that was perfect.
That was crazy.
That was the best thing they did in this movie, was to be, hey, where can we find a slightly old-looking Charlize Theron? Let's go get that lady. They did a good job. So you see the young lady and the young blonde playing with the gigantic baby gorilla.
Which, you would have just gotten eaten, but whatever.
Sure, maybe.
No, the mom would have come and eaten her. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Instead, just yells. And then we see the dirty hunters who are all gross, jangling their chains and smoking their cigars.
Well, it's nighttime, and so basically they threw in a little thing of, because her mom was saying, that's not Joe, and she's like, yes, it is. And then how'd you know that was Joe? And,
yeah.
Well, it's establishing that he's really big for his age.
Yeah. They did do that.
And so there's poachers, like you said, and then while she's putting her daughter to bed, the guy comes in and is like, oh, there's poachers. And
another nameless guy.
He's like, it was Swahili or something like that.
No, that was the language he spoke, was Swahili.
No. His name is, Kawali.
Yeah, Kawali, yeah.
It's
just lazy. He's like, oh, doctor, there's an emergency, and there's poachers.
But we're not going to come help you. You're going to go by yourself.
Well, they did kind of try and help her, but either way, the mom ends up... So, the poachers kill Joe's mom. Jill's mom picks up baby Joe and also gets shot in the kidney. I have a huge problem with this whole scene.
What's your problem with it?
We'll get into it a little more.
So basically then somehow Joe jumps on the dude and then bites off his fingers.
Yeah, and then hides with Jill. And then Jill's mom comes over and is like, oh, promise me you'll protect Joe for the rest of your life and sing this song with me. It makes no sense why she just gave up right there.
Well, she was dying.
No. She could have survived that gunshot wound. She could have gotten some help and survived for her baby.
You think that she could have survived? She got shot in the kidney.
She just gave up. She gave up right there in the middle of the jungle. She's, oh, well, I guess I'm going to die now. I'm going to sit here and sing with my daughter and die.
You know, that
it was weak.
That is a very good point, because if she had been out there and she's basically some Jane Goodall type hard scientist.
Right, she would try hard. She would try hard to live. She didn't.
She'd kind of be used to things happening to her.
Right.
Spider bites, snake bites, you know.
Gunshot.
Yeah.
She would try. She would try. And she didn't try at all. She has no survival instincts. She dies, and now it's just Jill and Joe. And then we cut to 12 years later.
Yeah, and then, of course, it's Bill Paxton, but whatever.
With Pindy. And this is the other really odd problem with the movie. Why is this guy Indian?
Because he was in, that actor was in Lost as a character for...
I'm sure.
Yeah, he's a very prolific actor, but
why was there an Indian guy in the middle of Africa?
Oh, with like...
directing the African guys.
With some... he was almost looked like he was supposed to be Persian, because he had like the gold chain and the tracksuit and the whole thing.
Gigantic necklace, or the gigantic earring.
Yeah, I don't know, but so
that was a weird choice by the people from this movie.
Yeah, it was weird.
Didn't like it. It made me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, so Bill wants to go up to the Sacred Mountain, Greg.
Yeah.
Greg Pax wants to go up to the Sacred Mountain.
He's going to listen to some jungle sounds. They catch this leopard.
And I'm sorry, okay, you're not going to catch a freaking leopard. Nobody barely freaking sees them. They're very rare to even see. You're not going to catch one like that. Like, you're not going to catch one.
They catch him, he takes a blood sample, he orders them free.
But they like want to take it, and he's like...
Well, yeah, they want to sell it. They can make money. And he's like, no, get rid of it. Rawr. And then Joe shows up.
Excuse me, but I think it's time to leave. Don't move! I'm not moving, but my bowels are. Don't run! Stay still.
And so then there's a very long chase scene, and
he offers them triple pay to chase down the crazy gorilla.
Well, he wants a blood sample because he's a scientist. So he's like, let's go get it. I'll pay you. So they go, and they're chasing him down. And then some random other dude in a truck shows up who's not with them.
Which made no sense at all.
Oh, because it didn't come up at all later?
Yeah.
And
it only came up in this scene.
He, clasps him with this giant ghetto leg clamp thing.
Right. Basically a giant handcuff.
And it's a whole chase thing. But then Joe, messes everything up. Gets away.
Uses the chain and the cuff as a weapon against all the other people.
Oh, showing that he's smart.
Yeah.
Because Greg Pax is all, oh, did you see that intelligence? He's so smart, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to walk into the jungle, the African deep Botswanan jungle after him by myself. Right?
Yeah, you guys can go back and get patched up. I'm going on.
You can't just go into the Botswana jungle by yourself as some idiot American.
I guess you can.
No, you don't do that. That was one of the most unbelievable parts of this whole movie.
So, and immediately Joe captures him and almost kills him, but Hot Jill stops him from killing him. Then
he wakes up in the infirmary.
Yeah, he wakes up in the infirmary. He's like, oh no, I gotta get back out there. We cut to a scene with Quali and Jill, where it's basically Jill is skeptical and hot.
Well, I don't trust this dude.
That's what I mean. She's skeptical and hot.
And the other dude, Quali, he said he got rescued by a woman, a beautiful woman.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, and we're also led to believe through this entire movie that she's never had a boyfriend or never had any.
Oh no, she's a virgin.
Right? Okay.
No, she's a virgin.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
sure.
No, she's pure.
Right. So she leaves, and of course leads Bill Pax, Greg Pax, whatever, right to Joe, which she's so concerned, and then just leads him right there.
Right, and Jill and Joe play hide and seek. Joe eventually finds Pax and almost kills him. Jill stops him.
Yeah, and she's like, next time I'll let him kill you. And then after that, we cut to a scene.
Well, no. She breaks his camera.
Oh, yeah, she does break his camera.
She breaks his camera. She explains, like, he's an outsider. And then we cut to the scene of her in the city.
Oh, the village, yeah.
Yeah. Village. And she's with poachers and all upset. And then immediately, yo, Pax, let's get it in and go to America.
Well, first he offered her. Yeah, that's the part you're missing is he's like, I work at this conservatory thing. You can come in with me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
In the midst of this, there was a scene with the, nope, that's not, I read that wrong, sorry. Oh yeah, no, there was a scene with the Mr. Three Fingers villain guy. He's like a secret animal poacher.
Oh, like, yeah. And this was a huge miss by this movie. They show him and his backdoor man selling like a rhino horn and a giant panda.
They're masquerading as an animal preserve.
As a preserve, but they just sell off the parts of the animals, and it's just gross, and it's fine. Like, yeah, it's forgettable.
Yeah, it's bad, but
the evil lights.
Yeah, or French or Lithuanian or whatever.
Yeah.
So she's freaking out because, Joe's gonna get eaten by poachers or whatever, but that would have been happening this entire time, but whatever. So she agrees to go with Greg Pax to their conservatory, and so they go to America, and they're in the car, and she's
all tense on the freeway. Oh, it's Joe, okay, oh my god, she's freaking out.
But if she had never been out of Africa, she would be freaking out about seeing all the city stuff. I'm sorry, but you wouldn't really be caring about your animal right now. You'd be like, oh my god, what is happening?
Oh my god, a flushable toilet.
Whoa!
Well, that was another miss by this movie, is they didn't really make it seem
fish out of water.
Yeah, and like she's literally been in the Botswanan African jungle her entire life, and then this is her first time in any kind of city.
Right.
Like, no, that didn't track at all.
And let alone LA. They didn't let any of that breathe.
No. Well, and it just wasn't believable that all of a sudden she says, "Oh yeah, I'll go with you," when that wasn't believable to me.
And really, the next LA thing that she does is watch TV with Ron Popeil and his hairspray. Like,
yeah. Well, and while this is happening, the hairy doctor guy is trying to show off Joe to their like chairman of the board or whatever. He's like, "Oh, I'll feed him. It's fine." And so everyone freaks out because everyone runs over because Joe is freaking out. "No, I'm scared, blah, blah, blah." But really, Joe's just trying to play hide and seek with him, which...
Right. So Jill shows up. She tells Harry what to do.
Harry, it's okay.
It doesn't feel okay.
Listen to me. Just jump out from behind the trees.
No, I'd rather not.
Just jump out and say, "You found me."
Well, he knows he's found me. That's the problem. Harry, do what she says. You found me.
He's playing with them. Harry, he's playing with you. Hide and seek.
What?
And the CEO sees that and he's, yo, this is in charge of Joe from now on.
Yeah. And that part was cute. Like, that was fine.
It was okay.
I thought that was cute. And this is when Regina King's character is basically telling Greg Pax, like, "Oh, you like her." And
it's time to go to the Bone Zone. You're gonna fuck this lady.
He's like, "No, I can't go to the Bone Zone. She's basically my daughter." He doesn't say that, but that's what he's thinking. But then he's like, we cut to a scene of our three-fingered poacher friend. He sees them on TV and sees Jill and is like, "Oh."
No.
And the guy's the other, his little goon, is saying, "That's the guy that bit your finger off," and he's British all of a sudden. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't.
So they decide they're going to go and get the monkey somehow, and they go there, and his little goon pulls out his
keychain,
which I guess that's a thing that poachers use. I don't know.
Who knows? He used it here. At the same time, we have the Virgin Ocean date with Shirley Theron, which is just disgusting. Where she's just telling Paxton, how much of a virgin she is. At the same time, we have this horror show with Joe.
Yeah, it was kind of, and this is, I think, why I remember this movie being so upsetting, is it's upsetting for I just don't like it. It really makes me irritated. But yeah, no, the juxtaposition of that horrible thing happening and her like, oh, I've never been in love, just really awful. And so they have to go back because they're about to kiss, and then she gets paged. Oh, trouble.
Joe in trouble.
Yeah, so she goes back, and he's just ripping up the habitat because he knows that's the guy that killed his mom, basically.
Yeah, Joe knows exactly what's going on. He's all pissed off. He's destroying everything.
Yeah.
Jill's, hey, Mr. CEO, you have to postpone the benefit. Joe's not ready. And he's like, you should stop worrying about Joe and start worrying about what you're going to wear to the party tonight.
Ugh.
That is like one of the cringiest scenes in this movie.
Yeah, because and you think that it's so, no one would really say that. Okay, those types of dudes do say that kind of stupid.
They do.
It's just, ugh. And it's gross. I hate it. And yeah, I was like, F you. Like, I got really, it's gross. So the poacher, and then she runs into the 3-finger guy in the hallway.
Right, but he doesn't show his 3 fingers. He just shows his other hand.
When he's like, I run a nature preserve in Botswana. And I'm like, if you lived in Botswana, you'd probably know all the nature preserves, but whatever. And like, she was like questioning the title of it. So clearly she already is suspicious, but he's like, oh, we can give him more space and all this other stuff. And, that's right. So then they go to the party.
And Jill is in just banging virgin white. And everybody's just like, bro. Everybody's staring at her. Everybody's looking at her because that's what she's in and that's what she's doing.
Or she's just in like a really nice dress.
Kelly. It is stark white with a little tiny black back.
Yeah.
No, it's virgin white.
Well, Regina King picked out the dress. She said so.
Yeah, she knew.
Well, and at the meantime, the poacher dudes are going outside to get Joe riled up, which I don't really get this part at all. I don't get their plan. Like, I don't understand what they were thinking was going to happen.
I think they thought that he would just kind of like come to where they could just shoot him.
Well, but then I don't know. That didn't really track for me throughout this movie. I was like, what is their plan? Because they were freaking out too. Because Joe, of course, gets out of the habitat, which doesn't make sense because there's a moat around it, but whatever.
Oh, no, that made sense to me. He was angry enough that he just plowed through anything that was bothering him, and he busts straight into the tent.
Yeah, and he's just trying to get the poacher guys, so he's not listening to Jill or anybody. And
he's kind of mistaking old white guys for the same other old white guys, which nobody can blame him for.
Yeah, and he steps on some dude's leg, which is a really unnecessarily gross add-in they had to put in. It's like on the Pirates movie where they showed the guy ripping off his frozen toe. I'm like, was that necessary? Did that further the plot? Did that get a good laugh? Like, no.
It adds to everything.
Oh, it was terrible.
And so eventually he gets tranked by Paxton and a bunch of other animal control douches.
It's just upsetting. Yeah, and they put him in this giant steel cage.
Yeah, they basically put him in prison. It's like something got to Joe. I know it. And Paxton has a heart-to-heart with Joe where he's like, I promise you wouldn't be put in a cage.
And then he touches his hand. And I really would have been funnier if Joe would have like just squeezed and he would have been like, Joe, stop
and
it!
He lost his hand.
We're stupid. But then, so Charlie's Theron, or Jill.
Well, Harry is telling Jill, the animal has to be caged. And Harry's a little about everything.
Yeah, and so Jill gets everybody together and she's going to give them to the nature preserve guys, not realizing that they're the ones who killed her mother, even though she would have seen their faces, but whatever.
Yeah, suddenly they're freeing Joe, at least Pax, Jill, and the doctor.
Yeah.
And then eventually Harry are also freeing Joe. They tranquilize the cop, who tries to stop them, which is fine, that's good. And Harry's like, I'm helping.
So he's literally the definition of, I'm helping.
Bye, Joe. I was just starting to get the hang of hide and seek.
I think you should be all right up here at the gate. Someone just called the guard away. Urgent business.
The Russian guy is driving the truck that has Joe, and they're taking off.
And then the two, like, dorky assistant lab guys come with this box of lost and found stuff to bill into the lady, which the one guy looked like Philip Seymour Hoffman, and it was really weird.
Yeah, that was creepy.
He creepily...
I did not like that at all.
Did not like that. And they pull out the keychain, and Bill hears it, and he turns around dramatically, and he's like, "That's used by poachers. Who is that?" And they describe the two guys. Immediately, he knows it's the guys in the truck.
Right, and we cut to the guys in the truck being super rapey with Charlize Theron, and she's crying while they're being rapey.
Well, she's crying because she asks what happened to your fingers, and he says it was a monster, and he says the word that he called Joe when he was happening, and she immediately...
Monstre, the whatever Russian word, but it's really just like a total rape scene of her crying and them being overbearing. It's just disgusting.
Yeah, but so she...
Monstrul, that's what it is, monstrul.
Yeah. So she snaps into focus, realizing that that's who they are, and then...
And Crazy Bill gives chase.
Yeah, and he's going crazy in his Suburban or whatever it is.
It's a Blazer.
A Blazer.
It was so overblown that was a new 1998 Chevy Blazer because it's a different one.
I think
if you pulled one of those steering maneuvers in that thing, it would have just flipped over and over and over and over again and caught on fire.
Yeah.
That is a very incapable vehicle.
And so then Charlize Theron sees Greg Pax in the rearview mirror, so she punches the guy and she's flinging out on the thing and she drops and she rolls over.
Essentially, they threw her out of the semi, which was really weird.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you do that?
No, you never see that in one of these movies, though. They always hang on to the prisoner as long as possible instead of flinging them out to their death.
Which, I mean, also he says later, like, oh, she'll tell everyone who we are and we'll be blown, blah, blah, blah. Which, then why'd you throw her out?
But I don't think that guy thought about it. And also, this lady might be one of, 24 ladies in the whole country you could throw out of a moving semi and she would survive.
She's hardy.
Yeah.
So
she threw around with a giant gorilla. I mean, give me a break.
So this is where, so essentially Joe sees her, so he freaks out and he flips the truck over and punches his way out dramatically.
Yeah, he rolls the semi in the middle of Hollywood.
Well, and I just want to say, so this is the first thing, not the first thing, but this is such a 90s movie thing of the dramatic downtown busy street. There's some sort of disaster or animal or natural disaster, or volcano or earthquake or something happening, and everyone's like, and you got the one guy who's in his car like, come on, man.
Yeah, the guy in the Camaro. the Camaro dude, which was a total douche. Perfect.
I don't know how to describe that trope, but it's
the total douche guy who thinks that the traffic needs to keep moving for him, man.
But not even the guy, just that whole sequence of him being downtown and all the people.
No. You've got it right. But it boils down to that guy. It really does.
So
and it's total downtown Hollywood, California. That's what this is.
Yeah. And so there's a chase, and then nothing really important happens here. It's just a lot of typical chase thing.
Yeah, there's the Mercedes destruction, the hot chicks that he saves.
That part, okay.
Random car.
That part actually was kind of funny because the one chick is laughing after it happens. And she's like, "Why are you laughing?" And she's like, "That was so cool."
Yeah, it's like, okay, well that kind of checks out. And then for some reason he climbs the Chinese theater, kind of trying to be in semi-Godzilla-ish.
Or King Kong.
King Kong-ish, which really mixed the metaphors, and I didn't appreciate in a racist sense.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
Yeah.
And so he's up at some point, he ends up on the Hollywood sign, and then he sees the strobe light from the carnival, and he thinks it's her flashlight, because that was a whole thing through the movie, she would call him with her flashlight. So he thinks that that's the flashlight. Because he's, so intelligent, but he can't tell the difference between...
Right, a flashlight and a gigantic strobe light.
But, whatever.
So he goes all the way back down the hill.
Yeah, and there's under the overpass with a bunch of cops, and they can't see him because he's held himself up where they can't see him because
Yeah, he's running down the LA River. Everybody who's ever listened to this knows what the LA River is. And he holds himself up under an overpass so that the cops can't see him.
I feel like that whole scene thing has been in so many movies.
Well, yeah, the LA River.
Yeah.
It just isn't from Terminator 2 on.
Oh, it was Terminator 2. Okay.
That was the first movie that it was really prominent in, and then every goddamn movie after that. Or if you play GTA 5, it's very prominent. You can do a lot of things in the LA River. It's just it's a trope at this point.
Yeah, no, I just saw that and I was like, really? Really? And I've seen this before, and that was my reaction. I don't remember it, because I didn't even remember that Bill Paxton was in it, so, whatever. So then he gets to the carnival, and I'm thinking, imagine if you're sitting on, like, the Scrambler or the Tilt-A-Whirl, and you just see this giant gorilla. You would be like, what?
So think about it. Our picture at Disney World with the gorilla in me was essentially, I'm the size of a gorilla.
Well, no, it was bigger than you.
By fractions of an inch.
No, I know.
Fractions of an inch.
I know.
And this is supposed to be 3 times as big as that gorilla.
Well, they said the size of 3 men, and I was like, more like the size of 10 men. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was just ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's supposedly they threw in a little thing where Regina King was explaining, there's a recessive gene that pops up in this species of gorilla, and blah blah blah.
The director really.
They just glossed over it, and it really just didn't track. And so it's super dramatic because, so the lady, there's some quick little scene because a mom puts her kid on the Ferris wheel before the gorilla comes, and he's gonna get stuck up there. So he's going through and she's yelling, "Oh, my baby!" And I'm like, "Drop the cotton candy." Like, what are you doing? And meanwhile, our 3-fingered poacher jerkface
tries to kill Jill.
Well, and the other dude is, you can't do that. She's not an animal. And he's like, she's gonna know who we are. So he knocks him out, and then they have Jill and the poacher dude have a confrontation. But Joe saves her, and this was actually a very graphic death in a Disney movie. He gets electrocuted.
Yeah, that was actually kind of cool. I appreciated that.
No, it was fine, but usually in those Disney movies, they don't, show it that much, and that was very, think about, Beauty and the Beast, where he just falls off the thing, it's no big deal.
He's just gone, he's just down for the thing.
But this was you saw him getting electrocuted. It was very graphic.
It was cool.
It was cool. Oh, so the kid is still up on the Ferris wheel. So Joe, all the cops are coming, their guns are drawn, and then Joe says he's going to go up or doesn't say, he's a monkey.
Yeah, but he goes through all the fire that nobody else can get through.
To save
this climbs the Ferris wheel to save this little pud kid. We see, is it Brian Doyle Murray? Is that who
the cop? Yeah, he's like the cop that's in everything. David has to look it up. It's going to drive him crazy.
I have to because if I'm wrong, that's not good.
Yeah, he's like the shorter, kind of fat dude with the mustache. He's in everything.
Yeah, but I think he's Bill Murray's brother.
What?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, wait, Bill Murray. Okay, I thought you meant Bill Paxton for a second. I was like, no, they're not related. They don't look alike at all. Oh, yeah, I think you're right, though. Maybe. I don't know, actually. I say that, but I don't really know.
Well, this guy's been in so many movies.
Yeah, this movie is full of 90s that guy in that thing actors.
Yeah, but Brian Doyle Murray is in more than just that guy in that thing. No, it's somebody else.
But he is a very what's his name?
I have to go to Mighty Joe Young now.
We'll do it, because we need to say his name. Because he is if you saw his face, you'd be like, oh yeah, I know that dude. He's from that thing, man.
This guy's name is Richard Reel.
But he's in everything.
Yeah, he is in everything. He is basically the Brian Doyle Murray look-alike, sound-alike, who plays Brian Doyle Murray in all the things that Brian Doyle Murray does not play Brian Doyle Murray.
Yeah, you can't get Brian Doyle Murray, get this other guy.
Yeah, and that's a fact.
So the Ferris wheel tips over. It's very dramatic and upsetting,
and Joe falls to his death, saving the young boy.
Yeah, and it's very... Okay, you know why this was so upsetting? I thought he was dead.
Everybody thought he was dead.
Even you thought he was dead.
Everybody thought he was dead.
And it would have been better if he had died.
No.
No, it would have been better if he would have died.
No, that would have just been stupid and sad.
And I'll tell you why it would have been better.
Okay.
Because basically, so Joe's fine, whatever, and whatever. And Charlize Theron is like, that means a new home for Joe. Where are we going to get that kind of money? And the little kid like, I have some money for Joe. And then the cops are like, I have some money for Joe. So it's basically everybody starts donating money, whatever.
But that checks out to me.
Okay, that's fine. But then you take him back to where he was before, put him in a nature preserve. Supposedly poaching was illegal at the beginning of the movie.
No, you just have more armed guards.
It's
more bullets.
It's the same thing.
No, more bullets to keep the people out.
No, it's literally...
Because if somebody comes in, you just shoot them. That's the whole point of the nature preserve.
Why didn't you just do that in the first place?
It's harder to get that kind of money for that kind of deal.
And that's the end of the movie. They open the nature preserve, everyone's happy, and they're together, but not together. And he's like, do you want me to adopt you or marry you? I'm not sure, because you're so young.
And totally.
But that's the end of the movie. And I don't know. I just thought it would have been better if he would have died. I don't know. I just...
Maybe it would have been better if Paxton had died.
Why would that have any bearing on anything?
She wouldn't have got her man.
So what was your favorite part, David? That's why I made you go first.
I mean, really, it's Joe goes for the kill when he rips down the tent and he's trying to kill the guys, but he can't quite identify all the old white people. I like that. That's cool.
You like that part?
Yeah,
I think you actually just kind of tie that into seeing Charlize Theron in her virgin dress, and you're like...
No, I don't care about that, because the first 30 minutes is way better than that.
Oh my god. So, it's not even really a whole part, but I just like the part where Regina King is telling Bill Paxton that he likes Charlize Theron. Because
So we're about this far off on her favorite part, which is fine.
She just is clearly such a better actress than all of these people. Like, even back then, like, nobody knew who she was. And now she's considered one of the greatest actresses ever now, but she's always been great. And it just, like, that was just, I don't know, I just really liked that part.
And then the stupid song that they sing to each other when Charlize Theron's mom dies, and she sings it to Joe.
The Swahili lullaby.
Epo that I tried to write down and I couldn't.
Oh, is that what you were doing? Oh,
I was trying, but I can't keep up with the subtitles, and I just was like, who cares?
So our main character, Jill, David's already described, how beautiful she is, but whatever.
Been in the African jungle her whole life. I mean, what are you going to do? She knows nothing. She knows nothing at all. She's about to give everything to old Bill Paxton, who's 30 years older than her.
Stop it.
Give me a break. That's ridiculous.
David, stop.
But it's ridiculous. It's one of the ridiculous parts of this movie. Is like, oh, here's this super nubile young girl, and here's super old Bill Paxton. Like, hey, young lady, I'm going to give it to you. And she's like, oh, thank you so much. Give me a break.
Oh, my God. Well, I mean, it's funny because...
It's true.
I did write down, she does a good job at playing naive. Because she does. You know what she reminded me of? She reminded me of her character on Arrested Development.
Yes. Mr. F. You just cut that through the whole way. Is Mr. F. Anytime I say that.
Oh my God.
Because it checks out. Like I'm saying, Charlize Theron got good 30 to 40. Hotter 30 to 40 than 20 to whatever this, and a lot of other things that she did before this.
Yeah. And then we have, I guess I wrote down that Greg O'Hara, what's his name?
Paxton.
He's also the other sort of main character.
He's like the chill, conservative bro who's kind of super milky the whole time.
Literally, his skin looks like milk. Like, ugh.
It does.
He just looks gross. I just don't like him.
And there's no real character for him other than kind of liberal douche.
He just...
Whatever.
I don't like him. I don't like...
And then we have Joe, who's the chill bro. Who's mean.
Oh, I didn't even write down Joe.
No, Joe's a great main character. And
he's an animal, so, you know.
Yeah, but he's a cool animal. He
who
gets it.
Sometimes is smart, but other times is just stupid, so I don't...
Well, other times he's just pissed. He's not stupid. He's just mad.
No. When he mistakes the spotlight for the flashlight, like, that's stupid. He would be smarter than that.
Yeah. Okay, you're right.
Like, that's what doesn't track, is they made a point of emphasizing how intelligent he was for one scene, and then it didn't really come up the rest of the movie. Like, I don't like it.
Yeah, you're right.
So the villains were one of the better parts of the movie, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. French, Russian, Lithuanian split dude was fine. He was a gross douche.
So greasy.
His henchman was also a gross douche, even though he tried to stop him.
That didn't really make sense either. Like,
no, it made enough sense, but still, both of them are gross douches. If that guy was going to try and stop him, he should have stabbed him in the kidneys.
Well, his name was Garth. I mean, that's bad. So
It is bad. You don't want to be a Garth. Side characters... You've got
Dr. Harry,
Regina
King Cecily.
You got Regina King.
Don't forget about Pindy, the out of place Indian,
which might be one of the biggest problems in this movie. I don't know where that came from, but whatever.
Well, he was the one calling the poacher guy.
Right.
That whole
scene is so horrible.
Why? Okay, you could have cut that whole part out because it didn't make sense. Because I don't believe that guy. Because he sees Joe and her on the news later anyway, so that part didn't make sense with the rest of the story. It was just stupid.
It really didn't. This movie was a hair too long, and I feel like they cut weird parts out of it.
Yeah, the story, which story is a big deal to me, it just didn't, there was so much of it that didn't really make sense. The biggest part for me with the story was that I just don't buy that all of a sudden poaching is this huge problem for over like 15 years or 12 years or whatever. And
although that actually was kind of true.
Well, okay, that's fine. But then all of a sudden you're just going to agree to go with this guy you've known for 2 days? No, yeah. I don't believe that for a second. The cinematography, I mean, it's 90s, but also the special...
It was pretty bad. Everything with Joe was just kind of awful.
Yeah, the creature effects, which... They also don't really have as many creature features now. Like, they used to have so many more movies with, like, crazy animals and, like, unexplained creatures. And most of them are horror movies or action movies. But they don't really do those anymore.
No.
Which is kind of weird. So that was very 90s. What was your biggest surprise or disappointment, David? What? You can't read your own handwriting?
Well, I don't just make any sense.
What did you write down?
Why the cops were so desperate to hunt this animal was weird to me.
Yeah? Like
the whole shoot to kill, like, immediately.
Well, that was also, I think, a very 90s thing, because there's a lot of movies where that's, fire on my command, and like...
But it seems more modern than that. It seems more like, oh, hey, shoot without even bothering my command. Shoot if you feel scared.
Yeah, no, I guess that's true. I don't know.
Yeah, it just seemed weird to me.
Mine was a surprise. I was just surprised that I didn't hate Bill Paxton more than I typically do. He was more tolerable than my typical Bill Paxton. Damn it!
Fair enough.
What's the thing? The Geiger counter. My Bill Paxton Geiger counter
your Bill meter, your Paxometer.
My Paxometer was not going from like 0 to child molester. Was right around like 2. So, yeah, it was, and then, you know, the part where he gets all, when I realized that he was 29 years older than her, went, ugh, oh god,
Yeah.
I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. Because you know he nailed it. So if you remade this movie, what would you do?
This movie is already a remake, by the way. Not a Disney one, but there was a movie from the 40s that was called Mighty Joe Young, and it was the same premise. I think I just would have some more struggle to bring Joe to the U.S., and I would have less. The whole U.S. part, even maybe I would just completely change the story. I think I don't think I would even go to the U.S. It would be more of struggle in the jungle. Like I don't know. I just don't. I wouldn't. The whole U.S. part I just don't like it. All right,
fair enough. As far as I'm concerned, why remake it? It's not good.
It's not.
Who cares?
It's really not good.
Don't remake this movie because it doesn't need it. Nobody needs it.
It's just upsetting for, no real reason. And I'm like, why am I upset? This is so fake. So what are your final thoughts? Here's my final thoughts, is that it would have been more impactful and effective if the whole U.S. part, take that all out, and it was all in the jungle and more focused on the poaching and the environmental impacts, and that would have been less like Flash and more substance, I think, and that would have been more and you could have had all the villagers band together and fight off the poachers and I don't know. I just think that would have been a cooler setting and also just more.
That's fair. Kelly wants to change 80% of the movie.
I do.
I don't really care. It's a good background movie.
Is it?
Yeah, because you don't have to pay that much attention and you'll get it.
I guess. I don't know. I don't really have any interest in watching this movie ever again.
I mean, neither, but that doesn't bear out for everything else.
And it definitely was a flop for Disney. It was budgeted $90 million.
Whoa.
And it only made, cumulatively, it has only made $50.6 million.
Oh.
So they lost $40 million on this movie.
All those effects on poor.
I just think it could have been better. They wouldn't. I don't know. It would have been better differently. I don't know.
All right. So what's your rating, Kelly?
I had a hard time because I really didn't like this movie, but I wasn't pained to watch it, but I really didn't like it that much. So it's a bad movie, but it's not the bad of the bad. So I gave it a 40%.
Yeah. That's not too bad. I gave it a 59 for the exact same reason.
So you got a 19% bump for Charlize Theron's braless 30 minutes.
Yes, that's correct. You're 100% right, because otherwise I would have been in the 40s had it not been for her and everything she brought to this movie.
All the things that she brought to this movie.
So with all the things that she brought to this movie, what do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score for this movie is?
I'm going to say a 61.7%.
So it's a 54% with critics and 40% with people.
So
people do not like this movie.
Well, that would
they're right between us.
That would explain the $40 million loss in revenue.
What did
okay.
So now it's time for Kelly's literal favorite part of all podcasts
I think
ever of all time.
I think this is a lot of people's favorite part because, it's exciting, it's fresh, it's so many possibilities, and people are like, oh my God, could you please get this one? I can't wait till you get this one. And then as soon as someone listens to it, they're like, oh my God, I love Herbie #1.
And they're like, oh my God, yeah, number 158.
Wait, 158, don't say it yet. You go too fast sometimes. 158, so that's old, but not too old. Is it in the 80s? David made a very big-eyed face, and I don't know what that means, and I don't like it. What is... Stop it! David is cackling, and I really don't like it. I feel kind of nauseous when you just did that. What?
So what number was it?
I don't remember. Why'd you put your phone away?
Well, I thought you would remember the number.
I don't remember. Oh, God. Wait.
No, I got it. It's fine.
No, but I don't.
158.
What is it? I'm scared.
Where do you even think it's from?
Is it from the 80s? Is it animated? Is it Little Mermaid? Oh. Is it The Black Cauldron?
It is.
It's from
1985. It's The Black Cauldron.
David's very excited.
I am very excited to see the worst animated Disney movie of all time.
Well, that's what they
According
say.
to people. And I may or may not agree or disagree, but I am very excited to find out if I agree or disagree.
Oh my God. I don't think I've ever seen David this. He looks like a little kid on Christmas. He's very excited to watch this.
I like controversy. Controversy is great.
This is probably going to be David's new favorite movie.
I doubt it. But at least it'll be something very interesting to talk about. Because if this is the worst animated movie, oh man, this has got to be bad, which is going to be fun to talk about.
Wait, what are some other bad animated ones that we've watched?
Oliver and Company.
Yeah, but that we agreed that we both...
Sword in the Stone.
No, we both liked that kind of, though.
Ish.
They don't? I think so, too.
Ish.
So, we'll see. I mean, so wait, what? Okay, so Sword in the Stone, or, Black Cauldron, what was the movie that came out before this, animated? I need to know what two animated movies it's sandwiched in between.
The two it's sandwiched in between.
I feel like Little Mermaid was after that, or no, Oliver and Company was after this, right?
So, prior to this, Fox and the Hound.
Wait, Fox and the Hound was the previous animated movie to this? Are you sure?
Okay, so unless Condor Man, Amy, Watcher in the Woods, Night Crossing, Tron, Tex, Trenchcoat, Something Wicked This Way Comes, Never Cry Wolf, or Return to Oz were animated? No.
Fox and the Hound was right before this, and then after it was Oliver?
Great Mouse Detective.
Oh, Great Mouse Detective.
Yeah, and then Oliver right after that.
Dang. Okay, this is going to be really interesting. So, The Black Cauldron.
Yeah.
What do you think it's about?
I'm going to say it's like wizards praying over a black cauldron. Because
So,
I don't know.
I actually did watch this movie, but it was 15 years ago. So,
Jesus Christ, that's so long ago.
What? It was. And there is a black cauldron involved, obviously. I feel like there's a pig involved, like an animated pig.
Cool.
And there's a princess and a dude, and like a dude who's like, I'm a farm boy, but not. I don't remember really any. I feel like the villain in this is really dark and scary, and that's why I feel like a lot of people didn't like this because it was too dark for some people who couldn't handle it.
Which I think is cool.
But I really don't remember anything that happens in this movie.
Also, when you say that you saw this 15 years ago, that's the same year that The Pacifier and Herbie Fully Loaded came out. Just as context.
Oh, 15 years ago? That sounds right.
Yeah.
Because I remember I went through a phase where I was checking out old Disney VHSs from the library, or like DVDs from the library, and I was watching them, and I think I watched this, but I just remember there was there's a pig in it for some reason, there's a cauldron, there's a princess, and like a farm boy.
It's supposed to be bad.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's good.
We've been waiting for this for a long time.
Yeah. Well,
David's clearly been waiting.
60-something episodes at least.
I've been waiting.
Not that long, considering we have 400-something to go.
Yeah.
If you'd like to follow us on Facebook or Instagram at The Disney Movies, if you'd like to send us an email at thedisneymovies@gmail.com.
Please review. That really helps. 5 stars only, please. On Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, all of those things. Like, subscribe, share. Sharing is caring. Thank you.
Sharing is caring, yeah. Just tell your friends who would like this movie. Not just this movie, but the podcast. the drunken movie reviews. Give me a break.
We're not drunk in every single one. Just like
just number 11 through
shut up.
the rest. Yeah. So in the meantime, this has been at the Disney Movies at the Hearts.
I'm Kelly.
I'm David.
Bye.
Oh.
Guess we'll find out here in a minute. And my phone's about to die. Good thing I only need it for the first part. Oh, are you stuck back there now, dog? Both dogs? What is this?
They love their mama.
No, but they can't love me right now. No. Come on, over here. No. Come on.
Look, Lily, come here.
Go see your daddy. No.
Come here.
Go see your daddy.
Look, Lily, come here.
Go over there.
Get in the cage. Luke, come here. Get in here.
They haven't even started. I definitely can't hold a dog for that long.
Come on.